You wake in a swamp where fog clings like a shroud over water thick with decay. The stench of mud mixes with the faint copper tang of long-buried blood, rising in whispers that curl around your ankles. Wooden shacks lean at impossible angles, their timbers splintered like broken teeth, groaning under rot and human desperation. You step carefully, feet sinking into blackened soil that clings like memory, each movement stirring ghosts of laborers who shoveled, hammered, and bled for a city not yet named. Dutch fortresses loom, walls severe, suffocating, built atop bones that murmur without sound. Foundations pulse beneath you, not brick alone but corpses of the forgotten, uncounted, erased before their names could ever settle. Each shovel of dirt lifts sighs, curses, whispers. You imagine hands that dug trenches, planted posts, carved walls. Wonder if prayers were swallowed by hunger and fear. Architecture emerges as survival, yet survival is sharpened by cruelty. Nails driven into timber, planks heaved over mud, lives spent like kindling warming ambition. The swamp breathes against you, sticky and cold, carrying distant wails of a city unborn. Shadows creep over shoulders, stretching long across the jagged horizon, hinting at towers that will one day scratch clouds, grandeur rooted in mud and blood. Fragile violence seeps into your bones. A city clawing from rot, demanding life from death. Shacks lean insistently, urging memory of unstable beginnings, of towering ambition grown from trembling, rotten roots. Light bends weakly across stagnant water, and you understand inevitability. Wood decays, mud hardens into stone, and the city will rise indifferent to cost. Horror lies not in monuments yet built, but in this precarious birth. A skeleton of ambition wrapped in rot, whispering of the skyline to come. You step back, senses full of the swamp's suffocating breath, knowing this grotesque cradle has already shaped every street, brick, and shadow. Wind carries promise. Wooden skeletons will harden into stone, screams trapped in mud becoming whispers in walls above. The swamp recedes, leaving dust and cold stone, earth hardened to contain memory. You step onto streets lined with freshly cut rock, weight of permanence pressing against your chest. Churches rise like sentinels, spires sharp against gray skies, but their basements hide secrets no sermon absolves. Bones pressed together in silent testimony, each skull a ledger of forgotten lives. Markets hum with trade, yet beside every stall, a grave yawns, soil still settling, indifferent to merchants' cries. You walk over slabs quarried by Irish masons arriving in 1820, hands raw and bleeding, echo beneath feet a rhythm of labor long erased. Fingerprints vanish under mortar and polish, but in cracks and slight unevenness, you sense presence. Stone promises eternity, but eternity bites like cold air into lungs. Streets feel narrow, suffocating, lined with walls that remember hunger, frostbite, hardship endured during construction. Fingers brush cool masonry, chill not like winter but accusation. Skyline stiffens, not wood trembling now but bones calcifying into monuments. Each new building rises with arrogance born of permanence, yet beneath its shadow, groans echo from forgotten cellars, walls, quarries that fed the city's thirst. Shadows stretch long across cobblestones, every doorway a mausoleum in waiting, silent witness to toil and death. Ambitions pressed into stone, desire for eternity mirrored in rigid walls, arches, towers. Architecture is confinement, not comfort. City exhales. Each gust reveals calcified bones and walls, skeleton of history made visible in gray stone. Beneath suffocating permanence, hunger for height pulses, an impulse to shatter horizontality into vertical obsession. The city convulses as steel claws skyward, skeletal and sharp, slicing clouds with insatiable hunger. Vibrations of rivets hammered into girders pulse through your hands, metallic heartbeats echoing through Earth's bones. Skyscrapers rise like predators, shadows swallowing streets, glass reflecting not sun, but faces of men desperate to conquer the sky. You cling to beams hundreds of feet above ground, wind gnawing at cheeks, fingers raw, below crowds gape with awe and fear at vertical hunger devouring horizon. Every rivet, bolt, girder drives a nail into heaven, ambition turned mania. Towers stare across void, competing not for admiration but domination, steel spines rigid and unyielding. Vertigo grips, not height alone but time compressed, generations of labor crushed into this frenzy. Streets narrow in shadow, light swallowed by glass and iron. City inhales greed with every gust. Smell molten metal, sweat of men fallen into ambition's abyss. Hear hammers beat like ritual drums. Buildings mirror each other, not design but craving, hunger no measurement satisfies. Skyline no longer cityscape, It is living organism, skeletal and ravenous, eyes of glass staring down. Height becomes addiction, each new structure taller, sharper, hungrier. In frenzied verticality, see future glittering grotesque. Art Deco towers rising, glamour and horror entwined, elegance masking cruelty. The beast waits to feed again. Ambition mutates into spectacle, a beautiful horror-defining skyline for generations. The city shivers under sequins of ambition and gold leaf, 1920s and 30s glittering, yet beneath sparkle, despair gnaws like vermin. Walk past streets where facades gleam, wind carrying faint echoes of suffering, whispers of lives extinguished for monuments. Chrysler Building gleams like knife, spire pointing not heavenward, but to sacrifice. Feel chill of steel under fingers, imagine hands slipping, bodies falling, bones unseen but insistently present. Empire State looms, magnificent, indifferent, colossus built on fractured skeletons of laborers, screams trapped in gust-sweeping avenues. Lobbies shimmer with golden mosaics, dazzling eyes, blinding souls, but in glitter, discern funerary masks hiding rot and death. City is stage, each tower a set for gods who never appear, spectators blind to cost. Glamour presses on skin, suffocating, seductive, hiding cracks in walls, morality. Shadows stretch long across avenues, slithering between steel and glass, whispering truths luxury conceals. All fragile, all temporary. Neon ignites night, wind carries tales of decay, war to scar streets, time eroding stone and spirit. Illusions faltering, glitter peeling, city braces for shattering. Horror no longer beneath mud or stone, but masked in beauty, waiting for tremor to reveal skeletal truth. Every reflection a ghost, every shimmer a memory of those who built, fell, disappeared. Stage set for ruin, decay, where war and neglect rip glittering facade. The city exhales bitter, metallic sigh, post-war ambition scarring skyline, breath heavy with concrete and smoke. Step among hulks of brutalism, monolithic, unyielding, gray facades pressing down like hands that never release. Highways carve neighborhoods with surgical cruelty, sever streets, bury histories beneath asphalt, erasing laughter, arguments, lives once vibrant. Each block demolished, each street rerouted, a tally of erasure. Architecture becomes executioner, indifferent to bodies displaced, communities dissolved. Projects rise like cages, immense, hollow, harboring lives reduced to statistics, human spirit compressed into square rooms, numbered doors. Wander hallways where paint peels in long damp ribbons, smell mildew and despair saturating corners, silence heavier than steel. Windows stare blank, reflecting absence, alienation crystallized into form. Touch concrete, cold, unyielding, feel city sagging under own weight, past buried beneath ambition. Shadows twist across corridors, whispers echo empty stairwells, stories of those lost, voices muted, joy flattened into uniformity. Dream of innovation rotted. Suffocation grows where shelter promised, imprisonment delivered. Every beam, wall, rigid concrete line speaks ambition untamed, humanity confined, silent endurance of despair. Lift eyes to skyline, tapestry of ruin and aspiration. Memory hovering in spaces between towers, haunted pulse beneath glass and steel. In this wait, city pauses, tallest structures unable to outrun ghosts embedded within walls. Nightmare closes here, corridors of concrete and shadow, silence holding histories of lives, dreams swallowed by ambition, waiting for next witness. You stand before modern skyline, forest of glass towers glinting like knives under pale sun, edges sharp, surfaces immaculate, yet hollow as mausoleums. City reflects itself endlessly, buildings mirror city, reflections replacing reality, revealing nothing, concealing nothing, carrying weight of absence. Feel ghosts of those who built, fell, vanished into history's blind spots lingering in every shadow, embedded in steel and concrete like unhealed scars. Memory of September's fire hangs as wound in skyline, absence louder than monument, silence screaming through avenues, hollow floors, empty elevators ascending like veins of the lost. Breathe city's air, skyline inhaling with you, breath heavy, saturated with ghosts of ambition, labor, greed, tragedy. Every tower seems alive, pulse in glass and steel, pulse born of memory, not life. Every window a thousand eyes staring back, empty yet seeing everything, every shadow a memory refusing to rest. Hidden histories etched in foundations, corners, spaces beneath lights and elevators. Beauty a mask, crown upon graveyard of forgotten lives, silenced dreams, invisible sacrifices. Streets hum weight of absence, Wind carries whispers unidentifiable, skyline majestic, cruel, rising indifferent to human pulse beneath. Progress not innocent, beauty not pure. Every reflection, polished surface hides fragile, haunted core. Centuries of ambition, suffering, obsession fold into one vast panorama. Nightmare closes not with fireworks, applause, but in silence. The city a graveyard masquerading as crown, eternal, indifferent, profoundly haunted.